Hey guys, thogden here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, we're going to be going through my fantasy Premier League team. The game week 1 is fast approaching. In fact, you have to complete your team today. So you can take a few tips from us, build your own team, and make sure you join the Thogden Thogdad Super League.
It'd be very rude not to, and I tell you what, you're not seeing my team. It's top secret. I'm going to win this league.
He'll only announce it when the deadline's over and you can't change it and copy him. I'm telling you, let's get started with my first 11. We're going to go with my goalkeeper. I've gone for Sanchez, the Brighton goalkeeper. If you didn't know, in the last 19 fixtures of last year, he got 8 clean sheets, third best statistics in the league, and he's only 4.5. Can you doubt me on that?
No, I can't. That is a very smart move, Theo, because you've spent 8.5 on your goalkeepers. I've just glanced at your bench. That is very sensible. Do not overspend on your keepers.
Moving on to my defenders. Let's start with Kostas Tsimikas, the Greek left-back, who barely played last season. But guess what's happened? Andy Robertson's been injured. And if you could get a 4.0 defender into the Liverpool back line, as we know it could be as good as it usually is, that's worth it.
This is an absolute no-brainer. Sometimes in FPL, you get a gift and you have to take it. So you're getting an alternative to Andy Robertson for 4 million. Now, do be aware, you'll probably have to transfer this guy out later, but good choice, Theo.
Well, let's move on to the next player. A lot of people are going for Trent Alexander-Arnold, 7.5. For me, I said no. I'm going for Ben Chilwell. Now, this is my reasoning. You're saving 1.5 million. He's an attacking left back. He was really good whenever I saw him for Chelsea last season. He's only going to improve. He's playing Crystal Palace at home. I think he could get a clean sheet and a contribution. What do you reckon?
I think you've got this one wrong, Theo. And I'll tell you why. Because Chilwell, good player though he is, attacking, creative, he'll only play 2/3 of the time. Don't just think about this game, Theo. Think about the season. Now, in my mind, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the first name on the team sheet. If you just look at his stats for the last few years, 160 to 210 points in the last 3 seasons. He's the most creative defender in the league. Don't go without him.
Why would you not pick Chilwell?
You're saving money, Theo, but you're getting a lesser player who will play less.
I reckon Chilwell will get more of a contribution in the first game week than Trent. He will also save me money and mean that I can build a better team going forward, and we'll get onto that.
You might regret it, because remember, this is 38 game weeks. Don't just think about this week.
Absolutely. Let's go to my final defender, Luke Shaw. Now, I know this pick is very boring. Over 50% of the game have gone for him. But he was brilliant at the Euros. He's improving. He's a regular left back. He's got his place. It doesn't get changed. Alex Telles is not going to play in the Premier League. What do you reckon?
I reckon he's an absolute banker at 5.5 million. That's why everyone's going for him. If he was 6 million, I might go with, say, Luca Digne, for example.
Let me go on to my midfielders. And we're going to kickstart it with, if you watch my Premier League predictions, I've already mentioned it, and I stuck to my word. He's in my team, Jack Harrison. Now, I know you prefer Rafinha, but I've got my reasoning. He's 0.5 cheaper than Rafinha. He's got more contributions last season. He edged it. And for me, that's enough for it.
I think that's very smart, Theo. 8 goals and 10 assists last season.
Amazing.
Now, I've gone for Rafinha. Now, Rafinha got less points last season because he played less games. The only thing to think about, do you want a Leeds asset this early? They've got a very tough start to the season.
I think United Leeds will be high scoring. I think whoever Leeds play will be high scoring. They started off with a bang last year. The Leeds opening day last year was a crazy amount of goals, and I forgot it, but you've got to be in there early or you'll miss out. Let's move on to my next midfielder, absolute banker, Bruno Fernandes. He's probably going to be my captain. What do you reckon?
Well, I wouldn't put him captain, but I'll get back to that in a minute, Theo. Last season, he got 18 goals and 14 assists. He's one of these absolute bankers of FPL. Now, I know he looked a bit tired towards the end of the season, but he's one of these players, Theo. After 85 minutes, he's not got you any points, and then suddenly he's got 2 goals and an assist in the last 5 minutes.
Exactly.
He's an absolute banker. Now, I know some people are thinking about not bringing him in. Very brave.
But he's 12 million, right?
Yes.
Is that too expensive for a player like him? Would you rather go for someone like Cavani up top and kind of sacrifice him? Maybe even go for Greenwood and Cavani, double up on the cheaper options?
Sometimes, Theo, you need 2 or 3 prime assets. I'm talking Bruno Fernandes, Mo Salah, Harry Kane, maybe not this season.
Heung-min Son had a very good pre-season. You saved 2 million instead of going for Bruno. I know on the opening day they're playing City. That won't be an easy game, but he is a very good footballer.
I tell you what, Theo, he's had a good pre-season and he's excellent season in, season out. There's 2 reasons I've not gone with him, Theo.
Okay.
The first one is that opening game you've talked about. The second one is the Harry Kane situation.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know what's going on in the dressing room.
Okay, well, let's stick with Bruno. I think it's pretty obvious that most of the game will have him, and a lot of him will captain him this week because Leeds at home, they scored 6 last time in this fixture. Okay, I know you're going to roast me for this, but I've gone for Sadio Manet of Liverpool. Now, I've got a lot of reasoning behind this.
Yeah.
The last time they played Norwich, they won 1-0. Mane was the only goal scorer. In pre-season, Salah has been quiet, and that's why some people are doubting him. Sadio Manet has scored 7 goals from the last 8 games. I'm telling you, this could be a genius pick. If he outpoints Salah, then I'm getting points that nobody else is cashing in on.
Well, look, he's a very good player, Theo. Last season, he got 11 goals, 11 assists. He's been a great pick for the last 7 seasons. Mo Salah has beaten him the last 4 seasons. He takes the penalties. For me, he's a slightly better FPL asset.
I thought you were going to roast me more for this.
No, because he picked a very good player, Theo.
I think it could be his time to shine. And if I get this one right, it's something to open up your eyes about. Everyone's picking Salah. I want to suggest to you guys, just think about the bigger picture.
Well, what I would say at this point, Theo, Mo Salah is in my team. I'll tell you that, and he's my captain.
He always is.
You're really sure about Mane? I think about captaining him.
My 4th midfielder to start, Mason Mount. I think it's an absolute bargain for 7.5. His equivalent to getting the Chelsea midfield is Havertz. That will cost you an extra 1. I think if Mason Mount has a masterclass against Crystal Palace at home, which I think he can, I could be cashing in on points where nobody else is thinking about. Not many people are going for money Mace.
Do you know, Theo, for the last 2 seasons, he's played the equivalent of about 32 games, and he's got 13 contributions. He'll get you points, but there's players who'll get you more points. So I've not gone with him.
But for 7.5, it's not the end of the world. That's the great thing about it. You're not splashing in on a Raheem Sterling, which is like 11. And if they mess it up, it's like, oh my God, he's 11. No, he's 7.5.
But at that sort of price, why don't you top it up to 8 million and bring in Jack Grealish, Theo?
Because he's playing Spurs and Chelsea have Crystal Palace at home. Let's move on to my forwards. This is very different from the norm. I wanted to do a differential here, okay? I'm going to kick things off with #NoTony. Callum Wilson. And I'll tell you why. He's nailed to start. He takes penalties. He's got a good record against West Ham. He starts the season well, and people aren't picking him. Callum Wilson is a gold mine.
I tell you what, I think this is a very smart move, Theo. He's not in my squad at the moment, but he might be by the end of the day. Now, if you look at his stats, he's got 100 plus points 4 seasons running. Last season, he played the equivalent of 23 games, 12 goals and 6 assists. So if he can stay fit, I think this is very smart, Theo.
Newcastle brought in a new manager or assistant manager. Since they brought him in, they played more attacking football. If you actually look at the pre-season games, Callum Wilson will get more opportunities this season, and I think it's a great pick.
I think it's a very smart pick. Ivan Toney might be a bit of a train wreck. If he doesn't score the first 3 or 4 games, you've got the whole world dumping him.
Absolutely, and everyone's making that mistake. But let's move on to my next striker to start in my fantasy team, Richarlison, a gold Olympic medalist winner. Okay, Southampton at home. Everton usually start the season well. They have a great record at Southampton at home. They love an opener. I think Richarlison kind of gets the feeling he's going to have to be the main man this season. Everton, they've signed average players in Townsend, Damari Gray. Gylfi obviously can't play for obvious reasons. Richarlison he could just turn into the main man.
Yeah, he's got between 123 and 165 points for the last 4 seasons, but his returns are dropping off a bit. And will he actually play in the first game? There's 1 or 2 sites say that he won't. I don't know why.
I don't know why either, because if anything, Calvert-Lewin won't play. He's 75%. That's why, for me, Richarlison is an absolute must.
I'm not going to roast you because he's a good player, but he's not in my thoughts, Theo. It's partly because Everton have not freshened up. So I just think his returns are dropping a little. He's not in my thoughts.
Well, people would rather go for Danny Ings. Is he a nailed-on starter, though? I know it's 75% likely that Watkins comes in, but what if Ings doesn't play?
Theo, Danny Ings, 2 seasons ago, got 198 points for Southampton, for a lesser team than Villa.
But what happened last year?
So if Danny Ings stays fit, that's the key. Will he stay fit and play?
It doesn't always work with new signings, Dad. People need to realise that. Aston Villa have a lot of forward options too. But let me move on to my final pick. The Leicester City striker, Jamie Vardy. 6 goals from the last 6 openers. Now that there's more competition between Daka and Iheanacho, I'm scared away from picking Kelechi so far. I know Jamie Vardy is a nailed-on striker, and it's a Leicester forward. They look a great side. Wolves at home. I think this is a good pick, and nobody's really going for him this year.
Well, Theo, for the last 6 seasons, he's never got less than 161 points, 29 contributions last season. He's a goal machine, and he takes penalties. Obviously, his penalty contributions are becoming more important, but forget his age. That's a good pick, Theo.
Thank you. I thought you'd roast me and say go Kelechi.
No, I wouldn't. Not at this point, Theo. I wouldn't go Kelechi over Vardy, because Vardy's going to start, and he's good on the opening day of the season.
Exactly. He loves to start season well. Lots of people going for Antonio. What's your pick on that?
Antonio is a goal machine when he's on the pitch. He is prone to injuries.
Yep.
I've gone for Antonio. I'll let that one slip.
A lot of people are going for the boring front three of Tony, Ings, and Antonio. And I just wanted to go something different.
Yes.
And I've gone for 3 different options, which I want to put forward to you guys, because don't go for the boring template that everybody's going for. And listen, after taking Thogdad's research, I might make a few changes before the deadline. But Thogdad, if you could take out one player, bring in someone, just improve it by one choice, what would it be?
Well, it's hard to go with just one choice because I wouldn't be going with Chilwell, Mount and Richarlison. I'd work out a way to bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold because he is special, Theo.
Well, I've already got a Liverpool defender, Thogdad. Do I want to put that much risk into one basket? We will see.
Yeah.
And you're taking out 2 Chelsea players against Palace at home as well. I think that could be an absolute big result. I think so. Palace won't start the season as well as people think with the new signings and all of that. But guys, comment down below how you rate my team. Tell me what changes you would make. What players are you thinking about bringing in? Of course, this is just a differential kind of team. I could have gone for the boring options, but everybody's picking that. So smash the like button if you want fantasy Premier League content this year. Thogdad loves the game. I'm going to take it more seriously. Let us know.
I tell you what, last season I was like 14,000 in the world out of 8.5 million people.
That's incredible.
It is a bit of an obsessive game, but I hope to do well. I'm going for top 100,000.
Take his tips, even though he won't offer them to you until after the deadline. Have a look at both our teams and join the league as well. There's going to be prizes awarded to the top 10 finishes as well. We'll get onto that later. But guys, thank you for watching this content. Good luck with getting your teams in before the deadline. I might even make a few changes. Thogdad, you made me think a bit there. I appreciate that.
Good.
Nice one. All right, see you in a bit. Take care and have a good day. Good luck in Fantasy Premier League. Let us know where you are in the league after the first game week.
See ya.